Okay, here's a thought. It's hard for me to feel sad, but why? So this may sound like a deep or depressing question, but I truly want to know. See, I think some would say this could be a sign of depression, which would make sense. I mean, major depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States. In 2020, an estimated 14.8 million U.S. adults, age 18 years or older, had at least one major depressive episode, so I could just be depressed. Or am I? And look, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's impossible for me to feel sad, because of course there are times in my life when I have felt sad. But it's harder for me to feel sad for, not just for myself, but for other people. So why is that? Let's talk about it. I'm Chris, and you are watching Factsma. Hey everyone, my name is Chris, and this is Factsma, where we try our best to expand our minds with every single video. And with that being said, again, it's hard for me to feel sad for someone else. Now, depending on who you ask, some would say this is called lack of empathy. But hold on, what exactly is empathy again? Basically, empathy is when you're able to put yourself in someone else's position, both at an emotional and intellectual level. But the problem is that although human beings are social creatures by nature, empathy doesn't come naturally to all of us. Some people are more empathetic than others. In more extreme cases, when people lack empathy, some people suffer from empathy deficit disorder, or EDD. When you suffer EDD, you are unable to step outside yourself and tune in to what other people experience, especially those who feel, think, and believe differently from yourself. So, an example would be if you had this, you may jump fast into criticizing others without putting yourself in other people's shoes. You may seem to be cold or just out of touch for people that are suffering or less fortunate. You may also believe 100% in the rightness of your own ideas and or beliefs and judge anyone who does not hold your beliefs as wrong, ignorant, or stupid. You have trouble feeling happy for others, and you have trouble getting along with family members. So, yeah. I think all these examples fit me to a T. So I guess I have EDD. Maybe. But there has to be another, or let's say an additional reason why it's hard for me to feel sadness. Which leads me back to depression. Okay, so the reason that I say depression could be a factor again here is because, here's the thing. Depression can make you numb to all emotions, even sadness sometimes. Yes, some of the symptoms of depression include difficulty concentrating, loss of interest, and enthusiasm for things which are used to provide pleasure, and constant feelings of sadness. But as we all know, everyone is different. So, depression affects everyone differently. But even so, when you're sad, you should also have moments when you're able to laugh or be comforted. You see, depression does differ from sadness. The feelings you have will affect all aspects of your life. It may be hard or even impossible to find enjoyment or sadness in anything, including activities and people. Depression is a mental illness, not an emotion. But one thing to remember is that I'm not a doctor, so depression should be diagnosed by a doctor. But it is something to consider. But something else that I'm trying to learn in my life is this. So maybe it's hard for me to feel sadness also because I don't want to be sad. Look, when someone says to me, it's okay to be sad, I tend to roll my eyes because obviously I know it's okay to be sad, but I still don't like it. It makes me vulnerable and uncomfortable. But look, okay, if I were to look at this objectively, maybe it's not all bad. Like, it's common to label sadness as a negative emotion and avoid it as a result. We might find ourselves using distractions like browsing your phone or eating when you're not hungry to keep that heavy feeling in your chest at bay. But sometimes avoiding sadness so much can even result in lashing out when someone brings up a topic that's sensitive to you. We've all been there. But if you're doing that too much, it can create something really toxic called toxic positivity. You see, toxic positivity is when you banish difficult emotions and only acknowledge more favorable ones, like happiness. So I'm trying to learn here that letting yourself feel sad doesn't always mean wallowing in self-pity. This is surprising to even me, but choosing sadness does bring a variety of benefits. For instance, it means accepting the reality of your current emotions and taking the first step toward processing them. You see, sometimes sadness causes you to seek space from others, and this may actually be another benefit. A bit of solitude when you're feeling sad may help your body and mind cut down on unnecessary stimuli. This can give you space to process intense or complex feelings. Also, lingering sadness and depression can be signs of burnout. And man, this happens to me a lot. You see, burnout is an indication that your energy is being depleted and it's time for a change. Tuning into that feeling can be the first step toward making a change that serves you and only you. But what do you guys think? Hey everyone, Chris here again. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I hope all of you took something, anything from this video. If you did, let me know it down in the comments. Let's talk about it. And but I thought about this a few weeks ago about how it's really difficult for me to feel sad, and probably it's the same way for a lot of people, and we tend to block it out for different reasons. So I tried to, use this as an opportunity to research it and then share what I learned with you guys and make a video about it. So again, I hope you guys learned something. If you have any comments or questions or anything, again, leave them down in the comment section. But until next time, let's always try to expand our minds.